Hey everybody, welcome to class. Today's practice will be a beginner level yoga class focusing on reducing the cortisol levels in our body, the stress hormone. If you are a woman like me experiencing the menopause, then it's really key to keep our cortisol levels down because they really affect our symptoms when they're high. If I was to give you one tip, it would be to focus on the stress response in your body and what you can do to reduce it when you're experiencing the menopause. The props you'll need today, 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, tins of food, study cushion, hardback books. If you don't have any of those, no worries, you can do the class without them. We will start standing in Samastati, which is equal balance pose, bringing the big toe mounds together. Knees are over the ankles, hips are over the knees, shoulders come up, back and down, and the palms come together at the chest in a prayer. Imagine your tailbone is lined up with the backs of the heels, and the back of the head is lined up with the tailbone. I invite you to close the windows of the eyes, settle into this posture. Be aware that your chin is parallel to the floor, crown going to the sky. Spine is tall, and start to breathe here. And although this class is to reduce the stress levels in the body, if you are kind of stressed and a bit frazzled like I used to be, it's actually quite difficult to do a slow yoga class because you're really wired and you're hyped up and your body's in that fight or flight response, and it can be really difficult to just lay there and chill. I know from my own experience, I used to get pretty impatient in those kind of classes and wish the teacher would just hurry up and get moving. My body did need to slow down, but to actually access that parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest part of our autonomic nervous system, we do need to get there gradually. Allow the body to just simmer down, to surrender, relax. So this class today will start with a little bit of movement. We'll gradually make our way to the floor where we can access that deep healing rest tone of our body, the parasympathetic tone. Taking a few more breaths here, maybe noticing the connection of your feet with the earth, knowing the earth is there to support you throughout. Lengthening the breath, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. If it feels good, when you exhale the next time, you can even make it audible. This physiological sigh is a great way to reduce stress in the body. Take a long, last deep breath. And when you're ready, with a soft gaze, slowly open the eyes. Wonderful. We'll start at the top of the mat. I'm going to face this way. You may be already at the top of the mat. We'll start with a couple of half sun salutations. On an inhale, palms come up to the sky. Full body stretch, rooting down into the earth and rising out of the spine. And as you exhale, bring in the palms through the center line of the body, maybe bending the knees and coming down into a forward fold, allowing the head to just hang. As you inhale, lengthen out of the waist into a halfway lift. You can keep the knees bent here. Exhale, descend back over the legs. On an inhale, engage the front spine, come all the way back up to standing. Palms back to the chest. Again, inhale, palms lift, full body stretch. Exhale, prayer comes through the midline, maybe bending the knees, descending over the thighs, hands come to the earth or to the shins. As you inhale, lengthen out of the waist. Exhale, descend. Inhale all the way back up to the sky. Palms to chest. One more of these. Inhale, lift. Exhale, folding forward, tipping from that hip crease. Hands come down, descend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, descend. Inhale, all the way back up to the sky. Palms to chest. Wonderful. On an inhale, palms come up. Exhale, forward fold over the legs, planting the hands, lifting the right foot up and stepping back into a low lunge. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Front knee is bent with the knee over the ankle, lengthening out of the waist into this low lunge. Planting the right hand on an inhale, left arm comes up to the sky in this easy twist. From this position, start to move the left arm towards the back of the mat, coming round in a circle in the shoulder joint. We'll do 3 of these. So that's 1, really reaching out, feeling that movement all through that 360-degree joint. That's 2. 1 more. 3. And then the hand comes down, plant the back knee, coming up into this low lunge. So bringing the hands on top of the knee, descending into the hips, pulling this left hip back, right hip forward. Inhaling the arms up to the sky. Bring this left hand down towards the floor and lean over towards the bent leg. So I should have told you actually you can get a block under this hand if the floor's a little bit too far away. Breathing here. Feeling this lateral flexion of the spine. Inhale, come back up. Hands plant. Tuck the back toes. Back knee lifts off the floor. And we'll swivel around to the rear of the mat. We're in this low lunge towards the back of the mat. This time the left hand plants and the right arm comes up to the sky for an easy twist. Breathing here. Then we have 3 arm circles to the back, lengthening out of that limb, feeling a 360-degree movement in the shoulder joint, in the right shoulder. Using the breath. Hand then plants, back knee descends. We come up into this low lunge, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward, descending down. Arms come up to the sky. This time the right hand comes down on the right side of the mat, leaning over, using the block if necessary, for a lateral flexion of the spine towards the right. Breathing deep. Inhale, coming back up. Planting both hands, lifting the back knee, stepping forward into a forward fold. Inhale all the way back up to the sky. And then palms to chest. 3 more half salutes here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold, maybe bending the knees. Palms come through the center line. Inhale, halfway lift out of the waist. Exhale, descend. Inhale, front spine engages, come all the way up. Palms to chest. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold, bending from the hip crease. Inhale, halfway lift, out of the waist. Exhale, fold. Inhale, front spine engages all the way back up. Full body stretch. Palms to chest. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, folding from the hip crease all the way over. Head comes down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up to the sky. Palms to chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, left foot steps back, coming into this low lunge. Left hand plants underneath the left shoulder. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. 3 arm circles, again, going through this articulation of the shoulder joint. Mindful movement. And then when you've done 3 circles, the arm comes back up to the sky. Plant it underneath the shoulder. Allow the back knee to descend. Come up into this low lunge. Breathing here. Arms up to the sky. Then exhale over towards the right, bringing the right fingers down either to the floor or to a block or to a tin of food or to a hardback book, wherever you've got. Then inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, plant the hands, lift the back knee, and we rotate all the way to the other side, maybe bringing your block with you. Coming back into this low lunge. This time, right hand plants underneath the shoulder. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. 3 arm circles to the back. 1, 2, and 3. Hand comes down, plant the back knee. Come up into this low lunge. Arms come up to the sky. Tipping over towards the left. Maybe the hand reaches the block or the floor. Reaching out of the waist for this lateral flexion of the spine. And inhale, come all the way back up. Hands come down. Lift the back knee. We step forward. Forward fold. Allowing the body to dangle. On an inhale, front spine engages all the way back up to the sky. And palms to chest. Wonderful. On an inhale, palms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We step back to plank. From here, using the strength of the arms and the core being engaged, bend the elbows and lower slowly all the way to the earth. When you get here, we'll move into a Sphinx pose, so bringing the elbows just in front of the shoulders, palms flat to the floor, chest lifts, collarbones are wide, pubic bone is grounded into the earth, and breathe here. Extending out of the spine, gazing point is just between the hands. Don't want to crank the neck at all. See if you can isometrically pull these elbows back. This opens the chest. You might feel a little bit more extension in the spine. Maybe closing the eyes. Then exhale, bringing the body down, taking the hands, placing them outside the mat at shoulder level, tenting the fingers like you are a tree frog, and on an inhale, using the strength of the spine, come up into this wide tree frog sphinx. From here, dip the right shoulder down and look over towards the left. Feeling a nice stretch in the front of the right shoulder. Inhale, come back to the midline. Exhale, over to the other side, dipping that left shoulder. Oh, it feels so good. Inhale, lift. One more each side. Exhale, looking to the left, dipping the right shoulder. Inhale to the center, and then over, looking towards the right. Back to center. Release the body down. Hands plant underneath the shoulders. Bring the knees as wide as the mat. and push back to a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes are touching, and belly drapes between the thighs. If you like, you can stack the fists to support the forehead, or you can have the palms flat, the forehead to the palms, or you can bring the third eye all the way to the earth. Whatever your third eye is in contact with, imagine that this is a drain, and you can allow something that's on your mind to just flow out. Maybe you can even imagine the cortisol flowing out of your body through the third eye into the earth, away, and allowing a wave of relaxation to come over the body. Being in this position, which is a forward fold, it helps to activate that parasympathetic nervous system. We've done a little bit of movement. We've maybe got some stickiness and some trapped energy out of our bodies. Now we can move towards really bringing the stress response down in the body, activating that relaxation response, accessing that deep healing rest in the body that we need for optimal health. Take another breath here. On an inhale, slowly come up, bringing the knees together, sitting back on the heels in thunderbolt pose. Maybe bringing the palms face down on the thighs. When our palms are face down, it symbolizes grounding. And feeling grounded is really key to reducing stress in the body. Taking a breath or so here. And when you're ready and it feels good for you, slowly come over onto the seat, releasing the legs straight out in front for a forward fold, lifting out of the waist, crown moving towards the sky, legs are extended in front with the feet flexed. As you inhale, you lengthen. As you exhale, tipping from the hip crease, coming forward, keeping the spine as long as possible. When you have reached the end of your range of motion with a straight spine, and you can start to curl forward. This is where blocks can come in really handy. You can build a little tower to melt into. Hands can come wherever they feel good, and surrender here. Start to make the breath longer, particularly focusing on the exhale. Maybe inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 3. And as you sit and simmer here, your tower might get a little bit lower. Relaxing all of the body. Bringing the awareness to where there might be sensation, maybe in the hamstrings. Enjoying just doing nothing and being in this position. Just going to your edge, not feeling any pain anywhere. We'll take one long last deep breath. And you've exhaled everything out of the lungs. Use the strength of the hands to come back up to vertical. Bringing the left knee into the chest, giving it a nice hug. Then allowing the left leg to fall open to the side for Janu Savasana. This is head to knee pose, lengthening out of the waist as you inhale. And then exhale, coming forward over this extended right leg. Again, maybe you make a little tower and melt into it. Releasing down, letting go. Feeling good. Feeling grounded. Notice where sensation is. On an inhale, slowly rising up, using the strength of the hands to bring this left knee in, releasing it, the leg long again. We'll do second side. Right knee comes in, give it a little hug and a squeeze. Allow it to fall open, lengthen from the waist. And as you exhale, coming forward over this other leg. Maybe your tower is a bit different on this side. Our bodies in general are different on the different sides. We favor maybe the side that we write with, so I'm right-handed. This side is generally stronger for me because I'm right-legged as well, which means the left side in general is more open. And when we do these asymmetric poses, they reveal to us the imbalances. Maybe we can adjust our habitual patterns in the body to try and even everything out. On an inhale, gently come back up. Bring this leg in, release long, maybe rolling out in the hip joint, the thigh bones. Then we'll bring the soles of the feet together and come into diamond pose. So for diamond, it's different to butterfly. The heels are quite far away from the groin. This gets into a different part of the back of the legs. Lengthen out of the waist, fold from the hip crease and come over the legs. So again, you can have a little tower to support the head. If you're very open, maybe the head comes down to the feet. And you feel a sensation of hair on your feet, something maybe you haven't experienced since you were a child. Descending into the earth and letting go. Long breaths.
Perhaps bringing the awareness to the outsides of the feet, where they're in contact with your mat or your carpet, or your floor, or your lawn, wherever you're practicing. On an inhale,
We gently come back up, super slow motion. Use the hands to push the knees together. Make our way down onto the back. If you have your block handy, grab it. We'll descend back onto the earth. Feels so good. Coming into supported bridge pose. For this, take your block. The block has 3 heights. Place it underneath the sacrum. So this is the lowest one. Maybe that feels good for you. If you like, you can go up a level to the medium height. If you are quite mobile in your back, maybe you come up to the highest height. You can also just do this using the strength of the legs, but it's nice to surrender into a prop. Let that bear the weight, let that hold you, and it really allows you to just let go in the body. This is a great posture to open out the fronts of the legs and the hip flexors. Allow the backs of the arms to just lie on the floor. Maybe your palms are facing upwards. And this pose is known as the pose of forgiveness. Imagine that your body is the bridge and underneath is flowing a little stream or a creek. Maybe there's something that you need to forgive or somebody. Maybe even yourself. Sometimes we feel so guilty if we are not on the go and always running around after other people, especially as women. We feel this need to serve and put everybody's needs in front of our own. And sometimes if we put ourselves first, we feel guilty, we feel bad. Maybe if you feel like that, it's time to forgive yourself for doing something just for you and allow that to float away in that stream or that creek that is beneath your bridge. How does it feel in your body to let go of these things? Sometimes we hold on to stuff and it doesn't serve anybody, especially ourselves. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. And then if you are on a prop, ground down into the feet, lift the hips and allow the seat to come down one vertebra at a time from the top to the bottom of the spine. Bring the knees together and the feet as wide as the mat for constructive rest. You can even place the hands on the belly, maybe in a diamond shape. Fingers pointing down towards the feet. Just stay here for a moment. This is a really great posture whenever you feel stressed. When we are in this pose, the hip flexors are in a neutral position. And you may notice sometimes when you're stressed, you feel a lot of tension and gripping around the hip area. This psoas, the hip flexor, is known as the muscle of the soul, and it's considered intuitive muscle. It is strongly connected to our nervous system. When we are in that fight or flight mode, it activates to help us run away from danger, or it contracts to bring us into a little ball where we can protect ourselves. So this is often why when you're stressed, you feel it. You feel tightness around the hips. One more breath in constructive rest. One by one, bring the knees up to the chest. Bring the knees over the hips for tabletop with the shins parallel to the earth. Arms can come to cactus. Gently allow the knees to fall over to the left side of the body. Lift the head off the floor and turn it mid-air towards the right shoulder, coming into this reclined twist. Aiming to keep both shoulders on the floor and the twist coming from the spine. Breathing into the stretch. Inhale back to the midline, over to the other side. Knees descend to the right. Lift the head off the floor, turn it mid-air to look over the left shoulder. Deep breaths. Deep surrender. Both shoulders grounded. Not worrying if the knees are all the way over or hovering a little. Inhale back to the midline. Give yourself one last little squeeze. And then one by one, releasing the feet onto the earth. Allow the feet to flop open, legs extended. Palms facing the sky, shoulders down the back. The arms just lying on the floor. Back of the neck long with the chin slightly tucked. Windows of the eyes are closed. The arrows of attention are turning inwards. Time to release here for Savasana. And I have a poem for you that I've written. It's called Let Me Just Lay Here. Let me just lay here and breathe. Let me just lay here and listen. I hear the birds in the trees. Their presence is a gift that they don't even know that they are giving me. Let me just lay here and feel. Feel the sun's rays from above, the earth itself from below, and a breeze from all around. These are the hugs of nature that it doesn't even know that it's giving me. Let me just lay here and be. I will be still and allow these unaware donors to replenish and renew me. Soul deep. Just let me lay here and breathe, because this is what I need. Stay here in Shavasana for as long as feels good for you. And I will close class by saying thank you for practicing with me. And I will see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.